Hello there, Tim Stoddard here. I am the CEO of Stodzy Internet Marketing, and today I'm going to walk you through how to properly SEO your drug rehab website, your drug rehab business website. So let's jump right into it. Today, we're going to focus on a longtime client of ours, Ohio Addiction Recovery Center. You can see this website at ohioarc.com. This is a drug and alcohol treatment facility slash detox that is located in Columbus, Ohio. The reason why I wanted to talk about websites and SEO today is because one of the real challenges with the drug rehab space is the abundance of high quality directory sites that are very, very powerful and that are very, very hard to compete against. And so, what I want to do is start with an example. Whereas, if a user goes to Google and searches drug rehab Ohio, we can see that Start Your Recovery, which is a huge directory, is number one. Addiction Resource Net, Recovery Institute of Ohio. This is an actual brick and mortar facility. So these guys are doing a really good job at number three. And then addictioncenter.com, which is another just huge directory site, is number four. And then Ohio ARC is number five. So believe it or not, we're pretty happy with this result. Like number five is a good search result considering that we have to compete with such huge directory sites. Because these directory sites are usually location based. So they're always going to own or at least compete very, very well for the state based search. And so what do? If you're just a local drug and alcohol facility and you need to promote your services online, how on earth do you get past these huge websites? And what I'm going to show you is a great example of how you don't just get past them, you get around them. So here is example number one. I made a video about this 2 weeks ago where we spoke about the importance of Google My Business. Google wants to rank local businesses for location-based search. And then they save a lot of the organic search results to generate many different variations of what the search result will be. But these Google My Business search results are always going to be local businesses that have an address, especially an address close to where the person actually is that is searching for it. And so we've spent a ton of time on this Google My Business profile. You can see that the reviews are great, 4.9 stars, which is very, very high quality services, and 164 reviews. So this has been years. Like really, we've been working on this for 4 or 5 years. And it seems like a long and daunting task, but the trick to it is just start now and don't worry too much about the individual results that you get. Try to not focus too much on the immediate results and just embrace the process, because the time is going to pass by regardless. So you might as well have these reviews under your belt so that as time goes on, the reviews keep compounding, and then eventually you're just going to own the search, which is what we've done with Ohio ARC. So tip number one is focus on Google My Business. However, that doesn't necessarily solve the problem of the website search. We still want to drive traffic to the website. Obviously, the website is going to have very, very high conversions. People are going to want to go to the site to look at the experiential pages. They're going to want to see where it is that they're sleeping and what the staff looks like, and what some of the clinicians, what some of their pedigree is going to be. So we need to market the website. And so here is how you go around these giant directory sites. So we created lots of secondhand content. These are still competitive keywords, but it's not as broad as just drug rehab Ohio. That's a very broad, very competitive search term. So one example is alcohol detox Ohio. You can see in this page, I believe it's this one. Yep. We spent a lot of time on this page. We created the best possible content that we could. We've marketed this page. We've promoted this page. We generated backlinks to this page. This is just a high quality page that answers all the questions that a possible that a person who is possibly searching for these services would need. And so you can see Alcohol Detox Ohio, the GMB still ranks number 1, and bam, Ohio ARC ranks number 1. This is a huge search query. This is a huge intent-driven search query, which generates a ton of results for this client. Here's an even more specific example. You could argue that alcohol detox is still pretty broad, and it's possible that big competitive directory sites are going to compete for those, but fentanyl detox, probably not. Probably not, because the search volume for a keyword like this is going to be much smaller, and it's just not going to be worth the resources for these big directory sites to go after such a small, insignificant keyword, at least in their eyes. And so fentanyl detox Ohio, you can see that although we do not rank number 1 for it, we still rank number 3. And again, this is a keyword that's going to generate a lot of really intent-driven searches. So if somebody is searching for fentanyl detox center in Ohio, you can predict with high probability that this is a user that is really likely to call. So this is a super, super valuable keyword. And then finally, let's look at the search rankings. You can tell over the past 4 or 5 years that we've been working on this account, we've generated a ton of results. We had some algorithm updates. We had to continuously make adjustments. And since 2001, we've really been generating a high volume of very, very relevant traffic. And I'm personally pleased to say that as of this moment, the site is doing better than ever. It's generating more traffic than ever, and it's generating more phone calls and subsequent admits than ever. So it is possible. In fact, it's not only possible, it's recommended, it's best, it's ideal that as a drug rehab owner or as the marketing director for a drug rehab facility, you invest time into the website. Because although it's not smart to go head to head with some of these big directory sites, you can go around them. And this is a really small example of the blueprint that we have created to go around these facility sites. And most of all, this generates results. This generates real results, real phone calls, real patients who need help, real admissions that grow your census. This is where we want to be. So to recap, we need to create lots of content that answer the user's problem for different search queries that are intent-driven and not directly competing with big directory sites. And then once again, you can see here in the search traffic that the proof is really in the pudding. My favorite thing to say is don't listen to what I say, just watch what we do. And this is exactly what we do for our clients, and this is exactly what we would do for you if you were a client that wanted to work with us. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment in the video. If you received this video through email, please reply to the email. I respond to every one of them, and we will talk to you next week.